So basically, everything that comes in contact with that energy of the water, is changed.
Mm-hmm.
That portable that you're using is awesome now, no matter where it is, in water, in air, with air.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
I
mean, once you advance the frequencies within the physical of the portable, then everything that passes through it is structured and it picks that up and adds to
mm-hmm.
whatever medium it is, whether it's juice, whether it's, I mean,
Aged urine.
yeah, right. You can't go back.
uh,
But the beautiful thing about structuring, the only thing it'll advance forward is things that are good for life. So
I can
so
I can attest to that.
so if there's anything adverent, anything different in that, whatever the liquid is, structuring eliminates that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a safe place to experiment.
It's a beautiful place to experiment. Wow. Yeah, it's been interesting, even the last few days, just energetically. I think coming in with all the stuff happening here on Earth, it's like been a while. It's been interesting. Just
Right.
bursts
Exactly.
of energy and bursts of like abundance of love in the heart space, and
Right.
all kinds of really interesting flows coming in here. Yeah.
Well, that's and we're at that place now where we have let's say we have the capability and um, the obligation to be listening,
Yeah.
to be present.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
It's our universal responsibility.
exactly. So, um, and
We wanted to be here during this time, so here we are. Yeah.
right, right.
Ready for the ride.
Well,
And I'm seeing it in other beings too. I mean, even if it's subtle, I'm seeing other beings. I mean, and obviously that's a reflection of my own resonance, but it's coming around.
yeah,
Coming
right.
around.
Yeah, it certainly is, and surprise from some surprising places. You
Yeah.
know, I was talking to a lady here this last week. She walks a lot in nature, and she's seeing a lot of fairies and things in the rocks and in the bushes and whatever, and
It's awesome.
and she just knows it's so, and she knows it's there, you know, and it's becoming more and more clear. And I just keep saying, just keep acknowledging it and keep uh, honoring. And as you do, it'll just come more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Be be not only appreciative, but just uh, um, just express your gratitude, and it just gets easier and better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, step into that frequency of that
Right,
dimension that already exists. Yeah,
right. It's there,
waiting for us.
and
Yeah.
that's the thing that whether they're educated or wherever they come from, the thing they need to hear is that what they're seeing and what they're experiencing is real.
Mm-hmm.
In maybe not some of the ugly stuff of the chaos of
Yeah.
stress or whatever, but the benevolent is there,
Mm.
really there. So
Yeah, the intellect likes to block that. Yeah.
right, exactly.
The ego and the intellect.
Right. Yep.
don't want to wake up and realize everything you thought you were is not true. It's a
Right,
tough one, tough pill to swallow for many. So,
right.
so things have
So,
been going well for you.
they're really, really going well. I, uh, as Corinne and I talk all the time about this, about the things coming in, the little things, health wise or whatever, when you get a little ache or whatever, I always used to wonder, if it's something I need to address. and and I'm really more and more checking in, and no, it's just an accident, or it's just something, it's nothing for you to worry about, but um I had a lot of things ongoing, I do still have a lot of things ongoing. We My company, and back when I was CEO and responsible to it all, I initiated a a um, response to a company in India, um, of, of selling 2 million portables,
Yeah,
and, and that'll happen this year.
congratulations. That's awesome. I know you've been working on that for a long time. So,
So it'll make some of the financial perspectives a whole lot more um, fluid. Really change a whole lot of things in that regard. Um, at least, uh, at least, you know, it 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 is saying to me, in a very profound way, uh, um, uh, ingratiating basically my success, that I have, um, that what I have accomplished is extremely beneficial for humanity,
making an impact. Yeah.
right? And then some of the other things that I've I've listened to a few people who want to take some of the other things I know and get them out there,
Sure.
and that seems to be happening too. So
Love
at least the words are there.
it. That's a
but
start. Yeah.
but you know, I I very well know uh, that as um, I accept these things that are happening around me, um, and I don't when they don't happen immediately, I'm not getting stressed. I'm just putting my head down and engaging in something that I know. Like working in my backyard,
Hmm.
uh, building planters, building things. Of course, when I build something, uh, it's kind of like something out of a science fiction.
Takes on its own
I,
life.
I don't do simple very much. And I comment when people ask me about that, about that I should patent it or whatever, and I say, um, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to create, you know, and create things that are beneficial, to life.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that whole concept, that 3D concept of patenting and all that, it had its place, but it doesn't make any sense now.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
what are you protecting? And that's a scarcity mindset, you know.
Right. And basically, once you open that door of what it is and how it works, you're you're
Same
you're
game.
gifting it to everybody
Uh,
who uh, who sees it and takes it
run
to
with,
the next level.
can run with it, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. I that's why these people that want me to do this, they ask me how much I wanted, and I give them a number that that kind of scared them. Uh, I keep saying it's not about the money, but if I'm going to give up
Right.
or open the door to technology, I want to have something in hand because I know how that goes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It could be put in a bottle and lost
right,
forever, right? So
right,
you need to
exactly.
get an offsetting asset that you can
Then I
deal
can
with
work with
that if that's the case, you know.
right, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Anyway,
Yeah.
hey, I'm having fun. Corinne and I are really really gaining, and I love to see Corinne is really gaining on her health,
Awesome.
and a lot of it has to do with the atmosphere here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm raising the frequency here virtually every day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, and I keep I'm keeping it. You know, what we put out to your people. It's a higher frequency than but I ask, you know, if the person receiving this uh, can handle this elevated frequency.
Yeah.
And there's yes, you know, people are growing in the
Mm-hmm.
respect of what they can handle, and a lot of it has to do with knowing that they can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you talk to a person, you are giving them you're opening their their receptors that they too can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So so thank you. We're we are um, let's say emissaries of change,
Yeah.
you know, and, and it's working.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. And it's happening faster and faster
Right.
by the moment. Yeah.
This it is happening faster. There's just so much happening from so many different directions. Um, um, uh, I'm not out there so much that, in fact, I just was at my bank this week, this last week, this week. Anyway, and and I had to give her my driver's license. She said, "Are you going to get your driver's license updated?" And I said, "Well, is it expired?" And she said, "No." Well, kind of. She says it is. You have to get a federal driver's license now.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well,
Did you do that?
the ID or whatever, the real
Right,
ID, right? That's what they
right.
want to get everybody on. Yeah. I haven't done that. No.
Well, when I think of sovereignty, driver's license is not part of that, is it?
No, not at all. Yeah. Uh, but at this point, I just laugh at that. I give them whatever they want. They can have whatever they think they got on me. And they can
Yeah.
play around with all they want.
Anyway,
Because the me they think is me is not me, so it doesn't matter. uh,
yeah, I don't know where all that's going to go.
not gonna go anywhere.
Uh, anyway,
I mean that whole construct will be gone within a few more now moments anyway. So.
yeah, I don't know. I, I can think back when I was in my 20s or back, when people said that too. I'm in my 80s now, so you know, so I've heard it before.
Well, we've got new energy here to support us on the mission, so
Okay, well,
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's not just us trying to be out there with a picket sign and saying no real ID for me.
Yeah,
It's all gonna work itself out.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Things are going good. I'm wrapping it up. Packing the bags to Costa Rica here, so a couple more weeks, and I leave on the second or third to Costa Rica, and we'll set up shop there.
second or third.
Yeah. So
So, so are there a lot of Americans there?
there's a ton of them. Yeah, there's a ton of people from all over the world, but yeah, lots of Americans.
Do you think that they're there for the climate, or are they there for the political climate?
No, no one's there for the political climate. Only because I mean, I guess some are. I would say that folks, around your age, they obviously it's just the frequency there is just phenomenal. I mean, I
Right.
think at the core of it, that's why everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other benefits are not much different than they would have here in the United States. It's just purely that environment, being in that tropical environment, and not being, certainly their government's more socialist, but they kind of are hands off. Like, it's like if you have a business or a property or whatever, they're going to tax the shit out of you because they just spread it all around. They have a great medical system there, so if you can get residency, a lot of like there's a whole argument between, not argument, just to kind of split between the middle, like people, Americans or whoever that go over there, like, hey, should we get residency, which can be a multi-year process, because they want to see that you're actively adding to the economy before they just
Right.
give you residency.
Right.
And a lot of the older crowd wants to get the residency, which just means you're going to have to start paying taxes, because it gives them access to the medical side of
Right.
things, which is very good there,
Oh.
But the other half of people are saying, why would you spend the money and time worrying about residency when it just locks you down and then you just become another taxpayer?
Yeah.
And there are people that don't want to have to do the 90-day border hops, because if you're not a resident, you got to leave the country every 90 days to get re-stamped, basically.
Wow.
So you go to, so 4 times a year, you go to Panama for lunch, or you go to Nicaragua for lunch, or you go back to the States and visit family or whatever, and, you're good.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of but at the end of the day, everybody's down there for one reason. It's just the energy there is just phenomenal, and it's beautiful, and, the climate is just perfect all the time. So, you've got an abundance of food, and it's just, if you're into that vibe, then that place is calling you, as it did for me. And since then there was a program that I was going to build early last year. I started to put it together, and it was basically just an extension of my one-on-one business acceleration coaching I was doing with folks, and I still have a handful of clients I do that with, where I was going to turn it into a group coaching program called the Business Transformation Experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would just be similar format, all virtual, like we're doing here. I'd probably have some, an online membership with some videos and stuff. So what I'm going to do with it now, I kind of put it on the shelf because astrologically towards the end of last year, it's not a good time for me to start projects and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn it into a 1-week event that I run on some regular basis in Costa Rica. So there's a great luxury permaculture resort called Kinkara, Kinkara, and they've got it all dialed in. Basically, it's like they can house like 30 people total, but then you get their you can fly right into there. They have an airstrip there that they've got everything dialed in to where I can just go in there and teach and have excursions and all this stuff mixed into it. So I've been putting that together, so to run in late June. So
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
good.
Remote places having an airstrip is really a plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That way, if they choose to, because it's 4 hours, it's 4-hour drive from SJO, which is San Jose, their main airport, or they could, pay a little bit of a premium and basically see most of Costa Rica, flying to Kinkara if they want to, So so I've been working on putting that together. And it's coming together nicely. 'Cause I,
So how far is that from you, from where you're going to live?
well, in April, I've rented the place where the background you see here, where I'm at now. I've
Right.
rented that place for April, and I'm using April to kind of just see, you know, whether I should be closer to that location, or because down in that area, I liked it. I've been there and I've visited, and it's really nice down Capos and Uvita is the area. But yeah, I'm using April to kind of feel it out to see, do I stay in this place longer,
Right.
or do we find a home where, whatever the case may be, because I've got some other people that are moving down too, some friends and families. My family's working on getting themselves there. It's a process, right? They have their own
Right.
things and
Right.
houses and all that. So there's quite a few folks that are coming down, but I plan to use April to kind of explore a little bit to see where I can find, because there's no shortage of deals. It's a matter of just kind of getting down there and actually visiting and getting the feel, the resonance of the place, and that kind of thing. So that's my goal, is to kind of use April, because it's not a big deal. I mean, it's probably, to answer your question, it's probably 2 hours, maybe 3, from where I'm staying, but that's not a big deal. I mean, you get down there and then you're there for a week. You just I'll have a room there, It's,
So roadways are good.
yeah, so it was really interesting because a lot of people were like, yeah, things in things in Costa Rica, like, hey, 3 miles is not the same 3 miles in the United States.
Right.
But the way I took that was in relevance to how I understood the roads in Nicaragua, which aren't great. They're really not.
Right.
Um, they're really horrible, actually. But when Costa Rica, what I was blown away by it, I was like, the context wasn't right the way I was taking that statement that people were telling me. Everything is brand new paved. It's like unbelievable, actually. I would say the only thing that they could do a better job of is actually like painting the lines and putting more reflectors, because there's no lights at night in a
Right.
lot of these places, right? So it's a little, you know,
It's difficult to see where the road is, right?
sometimes, right? And so,
Right.
but no, the thing that they were talking about is that a lot of these roads are one, are single lane. So you get
Right.
behind a big truck
Right.
and you're kind of stuck until they give you a break on the street to pass him,
Right.
and that's where the 3 miles isn't like 3 miles, because the guy's doing 40 miles an hour up a hill and you're trying to do 80.
Right. Right.
So that's I was blown away because every road is just paved perfectly. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Are there places for gas? Do you have to carry gas?
No, there's plenty of gas stations there, and actually there's a proliferation of, I mean, it's not that well built out, but more electric charging going on down there too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, gas is the way to go right now down there, unless you're just using it for local. Because what's interesting is, like, you can't really import vehicles into Costa Rica unless it's an EV. If it's an EV, then there's no taxing. If it's not an EV, then they tax you like 60% of the value, which is the
Right.
value they come up with.
Right. Right.
Not like
Right.
the Kelly Blue Book or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, it's because the Ticos would bring in cars and sell them, and they're screwing
Right.
up the economy.
Yeah. Uh, I traveled. I traveled quite a bit, and sometimes I was in one place for a long enough time to bring a car or have a car. If I brought a car, there's places around the world that that duty, when you sell it, is like 300%
Yeah.
of when it's new.
It got you one way or another.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, yeah.
And I, and
It's
I,
just kind of curious because, like I said, it's been a while. I haven't been out there, but I do remember some aspects of right at the border, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, you know, not that it was something imprinted on me. It's just interesting places, interesting people.
Mhm.
But anyway.
And in general, like power, and like I had better internet there than I had here. I mean, and it's which is saddening because it's just like, really, these guys. I mean, they have a lot of mountains, which maybe creates more opportunities for towers and things.
Right.
But I mean, the fact that my internet was rocking almost nonstop the whole time, and even in my town here, I have patches from Verizon that just don't work. And it's just like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was impressive for me. And from what I hear, there's a lot of fiber that has been laid that's really not even being, used to any large degree in Costa Rica. So
who do you think did that? Government?
yeah, because they know what the Americans are interested in, essentially.
Potential.
Yeah.
The potential.
Yeah. And not even just Americans. I mean, the neighborhood that I'm in is 44 homes, and it's families from 28 different countries that live.
Wow.
So it shows you that the draw of Costa Rica from all over the world is tremendous. So they know that the infrastructure is everything. I mean, it's one of the reasons. I mean, obviously the government is the biggest reason that we're not in. My wife and I are not in Nicaragua, even because she's from there originally, and but it's just their infrastructure sucks. I mean, they have it's just like 20 years behind. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, the infrastructure between power and internet is so important to most people's ability to be there and continue to make money and,
Right.
feed the economy. Even if they're on retirement, they still
Right.
want that,
Right.
So that all those components, I was expecting less, and it over delivered on that from my perspective. The one thing that kind of was the recommendation is like, yeah, you should have a 4x4 because when you get off, like when we get off to go to this neighborhood that I'm staying in, you got to drive on gravel, or we went to a waterfall, you had to drive down the street. Like if it was rainy season, a car would be stuck in 2 seconds,
Right. Exactly.
never make it. So, I've already done all the investigation to figure out kind of the, what you should really buy. It's basically like a Toyota 4x4 pickup truck or SUV. And, because there's already plenty of parts in Costa Rica, plenty of people can service it,
Right.
There's all kinds of vehicles in Costa Rica. So it's not like, everybody's driving the 4x4 pickup, but it seems like that was the 80-20 of, hey, if you bought this thing would never do you wrong,
Right. Right.
So yeah, I've kind of, tried to investigate all those different areas. What's interesting that I heard from an expat American that is largely living down there, maybe 80% of his time, and he's been doing that for years, that I knew through some other years of being in business and certain stuff. And he just hit me up because he saw me posting pictures on Facebook like, hey, I didn't realize you were here. I'd never met him. I've just known of him through these communities that I'm in. And he's like, let's connect, whatever. We were able to get together. We totally hit it off. And, we're trying to do some business together too. But what he was saying was that because Lucy, my wife, is from Nicaragua, that there's an agreement between all Central American countries to where, for work reasons, she could probably get almost instantaneous residency in Costa Rica, which then may give me an opportunity to gain residency, very quickly too. And I don't know if there's a benefit for me to do that, short of maybe, the way that it works in Costa Rica is that you can own a business as if you're not a Tico, you can own a business there and you can manage it. You can't do the daily work. You have to hire Ticos for that.
Right.
So, but I think having residency would, if I needed that, I mean, what I plan to do is run my businesses that are here in the States in Costa Rica, which is totally fine. You can do that. So, and again, if I needed, if my stuff wasn't virtual on the internet, I would have to hire Ticos if I needed actual workers to help me.
Okay.
But a lot of that's very gray. Like there's no way for them to really even, unless you're on the side of the street and you got non-Ticos like working some sort of booth or whatever, there's really no way for them to even know, who you're hiring or whatever. So, so I don't even know what the benefit of that is, short of getting access to the medical and some of the other benefits that Ticos get access to. But he was just saying that, that's kind of a known shortcut for those that are from Central America. And it's because they want to be able to have people moving between those countries and working to, improve all economies of Central America. And so they've got agreements in place for that.
Good.
So so Lucy's going to find out from getting her visa and all that to see what that's about. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun adventure for sure. New chapter.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I can, I'll have an opportunity to expand the work that I'm already doing to help others, there.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Keep holding the space for those that need healing.
Yeah. They keep coming to me, so and really more and more coming to that place. I know, people want to talk and they want to talk, but I'm more coming to the space of, if you want to play in my arena, there's certain things that you have to take responsibility for.
No question.
And I'm not as easy on people as I used to be.
Good.
I'm kicking them in the butt.
They need it. Yeah.
Either do it or don't do it. But
yeah, the chatters.
I don't want to hear all the crap of your life. If you're not at least being part of the solution.
Mm-hmm. Taking responsibility for that crap.
Right. Exactly. Right.
That's where it starts. You can't help them if they can't do that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I think more people are, though. That more people are stepping up and willing to take responsibility.
Right.
Or begin that process at least.
Right.
For some, that's harder than others. So.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm having a lot of fun. I really enjoy having Corinne in my life again. I mean, she's always been in my life, but sometimes real close, but sometimes real distant.
Mm-hmm.
And so she lives with me now. So
that's awesome.
We're getting to know one another again.
That's great. I love that. I love her energy.
Yeah, she is. She's phenomenal, and I keep stroking that. That she has. She's really growing in so many ways, but the biggest thing is her health, and I really want her to get that back.
Mm-hmm.
We as humans have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
To reclaim who we're truly meant to be. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's our birthright. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, things are good for me. I'm looking forward to some of the things we got involved in. I know she talked to you about it, but the virtual money thing. So kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Never even thought about doing anything in that realm. Uh, though Corinne got involved in one back some time ago. She took some money out of my bank account and utilized it, but that's fine. You know, uh, but right now it's pretty interesting. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's another you know, it's another avenue of of communication with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and um, and creating a community, I guess you would say. So,
Yeah, yeah, those structures do a very good job of that, and I've been involved with many structures like that, and
yeah.
they are very good at building community. That is absolutely correct. Yeah.
So, who knows where it all and even Corinne's been taking some courses here. There's a big community college that draws is in the area I am a lot of retirees,
Mm-hmm.
educated, that were teachers or
Mm-hmm.
uh, have things that people want to know.
Yeah.
She's been taking courses on getting to know her or getting to know her intuition, how to,
Yeah.
you know, be more true to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tarot reading, tarot cards,
Yeah.
uh, uh,
I mean,
I
I'm a big fan of the tarot. Unfortunately, it's been bastardized by these card readers and stuff. Not that
right,
what they're doing is incorrect. It's just it's a very limited way of using the tarot. So
right,
it's made it seem like a joke. But it's very powerful stuff.
yeah. Well, so are tea leaves in the bottom of the cup,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so, but again, it's been fun, and she's had. I got a big home, so she's got groups coming here, and
That's
things,
awesome.
and talking about food and talking about whatever, all kinds of stuff. So,
Hmm.
and fun. So,
Yeah, no, and it's like every time I talk to her in some way, she's, I can tell she just keeps elevating herself and she's learning new things. She's like a little kid all over again. I love it.
yes, yes, right,
Uh,
right, right,
and that's
and
what brings back the health, right? Getting into that flow state.
exactly, right, yeah. Yeah. So she's here, and she's here rent free. She doesn't have to worry about rent. She doesn't have to worry about utilities,
Mhm. She can
uh,
fly.
and she can fly, right? Exactly.
Mhm. It's beautiful.
So yeah. So I'm having fun.
Yeah, good. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's what it's always been supposed to be about, but things
Right.
didn't go that way for a long
Things
time.
get complicated. Really.
Mhm. We get lost sometimes.
Yep.
Not anymore.
No, I mean, this is one of the things that we should say to people before they step into structuring their water, structuring their air, or wherever they're going to go with this. I mean, all the excuses are no longer valid.
They're no longer valid. Yeah.
So, if you're gonna walk through this doorway, um, be prepared because it's gonna kick you in the butt until you get your act together.
Hmm.
So,
And the changes that will come will be so profound that it might be more than you can really
right,
take on.
right,
Are
exactly,
you prepared for that? Are you taking willing to take responsibility for that?
right,
That's it right there. And I've seen that too, even before, getting to the structured water and all that, just in the juicing group because of the structured, ness of fruit juice and stuff.
right,
It's like they can't, like sometimes they'll break their juice fast and try and go back to old foods that they used to be able to consume, and it's like, no, the body's gonna tell you why it ain't gonna do that anymore.
Right. Right.
And then they're like, oh shoot, yeah, it's like it helped them. They needed to do it to unravel the programming that told them that they need those foods.
Right.
And when the physical body just told them, nope, that's not actually what I need at all anymore, because you've shown
So,
me another level.
so you'll kind of get a kick out of this one. I may have said it. My food is a ribeye steak,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm constantly checking in on everything I do. And every pretty much every all the things that I used to do, and I do religiously in a sense.
Sure.
I don't anymore because they're no longer. I was just they're no longer appropriate for me. One that just changed this morning was I do like a hot lemon. I do a hot lemon
Uh-huh.
drink in the
Sure.
morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I add slices of fresh ginger.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, is fresh ginger, because the ginger I had in the bottom of my cup was, it had no longer had any food value, so I just dumped it out. So I asked about fresh ginger this morning, if I should add fresh ginger to my lemon, and the answer is no. And I haven't gone into that to see if it's permanently no, but it is a definitely no. And so it's a change. Things are changing. But back to the steak thing,
Mm-hmm.
I um, um, Corinne is always buying food, bringing it, and whatever. She asks me if I need anything, and I give her a list of whatever it is, and because she's out and about and she loves to do that, But um, I was making up a list, and I wrote steak on there, and then I went back, and I had some things to do in town, so I I started going down my list. Is this in my best interest? And when I got to steak, no. I said, wait a minute.
Wait a second. Wait, let me back up. Let me back up.
I tried 10 different ways
I bet you did.
that it was okay.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. That
I
steak
love it.
no longer on my in my protocol to do.
Yeah, it's a process. Yeah.
But I too can change.
Yeah, I mean to kind of reinforce what you were seeing. Um, I'm seeing the same thing, like where a lot of these things are just near meaningless. Like even like yesterday, and I'm always listening to my body. Like I'm not trying to fast or do anything like that. Like I'm not trying. I mean, I've done that, right? I've done the water fast. I've done the juice fast. I've done I've turpentine, you name it. I've done it all, And so this stage, I'm just listening to the body. If it says, hey, you need to have some nutrition, or you need to have a juice, or you need to eat a physical matter meal or whatever, go for it, right? It's just slowly dissipated. Like my energetic, like yesterday I had nothing all day, and I went running in the morning. I worked out with weights. My energy is just like the body is self-producing its own fields. It doesn't need these lower.
As it should be.
Exactly.
As it is designed to be.
Exactly.
This is the beautiful thing, and the same thing. I mean, like I said, I know things are changing, and I'm respecting that, and I'm respecting it by asking if this is true.
That serves your energy.
Though I'm trying for certain things, that I don't want to see it go to the wayside, but
Uh,
it is, you know.
yeah, I mean, even sometimes like I'll make a juice, I've got fruit that's gonna go bad, or I bought a bunch of fruit thinking I was gonna need it all or whatever, and
Right.
then I make a juice and I'm like, my body's like, yeah, it tasted good, but you really didn't need that. Like you could have just had some water, you would have been fine. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Yeah.
Corinne buys a lot of vegetables, and when she brings them in, I ask, "Does this vegetable have any food value?" No, no. The only thing she's brought in recently that has food value was a pineapple.
Oh, nice. Okay. At least you found something.
But broccoli, uh, broccoli, and even onions. Most of the time do, but broccoli, cauliflower, you know, in and the spinach is just nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good, but it has no food value. And this is when I think about places like Costa Rica and Nicaragua and Panama, things grow so prolifically, uh,
Yeah.
naturally,
Mm.
with natural minerals, because the minerals are in the rocks. It's in the soil. It's in that uh, climate.
Mm-hmm.
Here, things are growing over and over on the same ground with artificial fertilizer.
And 3 minerals. That's it.
Yeah, 3 minerals,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all salts.
Yeah, exactly.
So you keep adding salt to the ground, what do you get? You can't grow anything anymore.
Exactly. Dead soil.
I think it was last year, countries like Norway, they put a moratorium on fertilizers. The fertilizers farmers or growers were utilizing, because they're all salts, and they're eliminating the ability of the country to support itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and then that just creates dependencies,
Right. Then they have to buy grain or whatever from the U.S. or whatever, or wherever else, Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But a lot of that, again, has no food value.
I would agree. It's the same thing I'm seeing play out in my realm. A lot of these foods that we've thought forever are actually healthy, or just
Right.
they look good on the outside, but they're just not there. It's not there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Remember spinach? I mean, today, I remember the last report I saw, it'd take like nearly a bushel of spinach to get the food value that 60 years ago you would get from one bowl of spinach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
the energetics aren't there anymore.
yeah, pretty sad. So I'm taking some time this winter and building planters in my backyard.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And I have to do it in a confine, because the predators
Yeah.
outside the fence
They're like, we got some good
are
stuff
relentless,
here. Uh-huh.
especially if it has food value.
Yeah, exactly. You have to get some chickens to help protect some of that. Before you know it, you have Clayton's farm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's no matter where you go, there you are. So
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting to get some confirmation from others that they're seeing those types of. That's a big change, for you to start asking about meat and things like that, and you're getting answers that you haven't gotten in the past. So it's good. Confirms a lot of what I'm seeing on my end, at different levels.
That's true. So, so, and so Corinne, so here she is. She has, I have three refrigerators. Let's see, one, two, yeah, three refrigerators, and she's got them all full of stuff. And then she gets off to doing something else, and so she gets concerned about they're going to go off.
Uh-huh.
So, so the other day she took a whole lot of this stuff and put it into a pot and made it into a soup,
Uh-huh.
and she wants me to eat it. I said, no, it, it has no value for me. There's no point in me eating this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had a little window of time where I was making my own soups, and they definitely served me for a little while, but no, not anymore. They're good, but yeah, it's interesting. It's a wild, interesting ride here. I mean,
It is, right?
interesting ride. Yeah.
Right.
Because everything that we've known in this incarnation up until this point has been completely on the other side of the spectrum of what I know now,
Exactly.
And it gets wilder by the day. uh,
Well, I want to congratulate you for taking the adventure seriously. Basically is and being able to talk about it.
mm-hmm.
A lot of people get caught up in things are so different for them. They don't have the words for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're scared to be outcast or whatever. And I
Right.
had a period of time like that until I just got like, I don't really give a shit anymore.
Right.
I'll be the outcast, because I'm not gonna sit around and bottle this up. I'll go crazy if I do that. So.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's enough other crazies out there that get it. So.
Right.
It's
So I
always
think
the crazy ones that eventually become the common theme.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just keep tapping deeper into the basics, frequency, vibration, and energy, and staying in the heart space. And what's cool is like the projection has gave me an interaction yesterday because it knew that there were some energies that were in me that weren't serving me, and I went through this whole process of it was just basically like I was at the gym where I live, and this guy who I've had he's kind of the new guy running the apartment complex. But he's clearly got stuff he needs to deal with on a personal level, and his energy is very draining and taxing, and maybe some like when he was a child, maybe he got picked on, so he uses now his position to kind of deal with that in his own way as an adult. And so I've had some interactions with him that were low energy interactions, and he was bringing a couple into the gym to show them around, give them the tour and all the stuff that they get when they become a member of the community. And I had my towel on the door because I always forget like my water bottle or my towel. I'll walk out of there and then I'm like, shoot, I got to walk back and get my stuff. So I put it on the door so I wouldn't forget. And he comes in and, and he's with two people that, clearly are there to try and see if they want to live there. And his immediate thing was seeing the towel and saying, is this your towel? Can you remove it from the door? And I was like, sure. But it was like that interaction brought up energy within me that clearly was there that hadn't been dealt with. And it took me a good 30 minutes of all these scenarios running through my head on how I could have responded and things I could have done to create resistance. And it's like an interesting, when you get to that heart space and you kind of see the whole reality for what it is, like you actually, at the end of it, I was like so thankful for that interaction so that I could deal with that energy that was still within me around him or whatever it was that didn't serve me, and I could release it, you know. So it's when you get to that level where you can actually see those interactions for that reason, that, oh wow, this is an opportunity for me to resolve whatever is in me
Right.
that I
Right.
didn't realize was there, or that I had forgotten was there, you know.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's true. That's true with every step you take,
Mm-hmm.
every breath you take.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there, you know, this is the time, and having this understanding, you know, this is the time to work on letting go of those those things,
Yeah.
kind of like ribeye steak. Huge.
Yeah, that's a big turning the corner on that one. Yeah. 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 It's. I mean, it's having the clarity and the resonance to accept the change,
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Right.
and embracing it and saying,
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful and grateful that I know this change is right for me. You know,
Right.
that's most people have no idea. They're at the whim. They're in the effects of someone else's causes all the time. You know,
Right. Right. Right.
you're seeing it play out now, right? With all the nonsense in the media and all that.
Right.
It's like it's just nonsense.
There's not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, for those who are hung up on all that, you know, I used to watch the news pretty religiously.
Mm-hmm.
I I I don't anymore. I haven't seen, you know, people talking about what's going on, and it's like I can't relate to it.
It
You know,
doesn't exist. Yeah.
can't relate to the issues. I can't relate to any part of it. You know, and so it's meaningless to me.
Yeah.
I've been off of watching or reading or involving myself in news for over a year now. So I'm just kind of
Good
totally
idea.
oblivious to. It's just it it's just wallpaper. Doesn't have meaning.
Exactly. And
So
it's unfortunate that humans can't see, like, what if you actually were just in Mother Nature and you didn't have all these devices and things, like
right,
your world would look completely different, you know.
right,
You think just because of what gets spit out on these devices has a relevance to you, but it has no. Do you know anybody with these issues? No. Can you go to their house and talk to them about this issue that supposedly everybody has all over the world right now, or whatever? You know, it's just like it doesn't even exist. It doesn't
right.
exist. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's like
only exists because you continue to create it in your mind. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, you know, it's like yeah, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, right. Doesn't.
All is mind, you know, it's all mental.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah, I would agree. It's like, you know, I'm just holding the space for those that are ready to heal and want to step up on the stage of responsibility and move forward. You know, the rest of them we can't, you know, until they're ready to do that. And certainly, I'll do my best to, you know, put some information out there that might open that door for them. But I've tried to do that in the past. That's a that's a battle you're not going to win. So you
Right,
can't convince somebody to do anything they're not ready to do themselves. So.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
But fortunately, there are a lot of people that know that there's something else and they want it. You know,
Right. I agree.
and they're ready to take responsibility, and they're ready to do what they need to do with guidance
Right.
to find that new way. Yeah, that's the
Well,
beauty. That's the beauty.
it's going to be interesting to see where we are next week.
Oh,
I would I would say next year, but things are changing so fast.
It's
Don't wait.
unbelievable. Yeah, maybe you'll touch base later this afternoon. It's
Right.
wild. It's wild. It's like
Right.
it's almost like as the moments continue, the words to describe what's happening are vanishing.
Right.
I have less that I can say. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
uh, it's just and I'm just fortunate to have you as somebody that has been deep into this stuff at different levels at probably different times in your life to where um, you can get it at the level that I'm trying to describe it for me.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's a lot of it is learning to walk in the other person's moccasins for a day,
Yeah.
and see it from their point of view. When we're talking about communication, that's especially the worlds that you're stepping into. It's not it's not. I mean, the majority of people here, in the United States and in many places around the world, uh, they would run from let's say, the lack of technology, the lack of whatever, roads,
Mm.
whatever, whatever it may be, stripes on the road, whatever it is, you know. Uh, but again, um, it is those are places that really aid one to become more in tune with self.
Mhm.
Either that or curl up and die, you know,
Mhm.
because it is kind of like I know a lot of places that I went. Uh, I was informed uh, to 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 wean myself off from the need for coffee
Mhm.
or need for sweets,
Mhm.
you know, because if you're used to having a cup of coffee every morning, you get into places in the world where they don't even know what that is,
Right.
uh, it takes its toll,
Yeah. Which
or,
doesn't allow you to do your job or whatever responsibilities you're supposed to have, right?
or that shot of whiskey or whatever it is,
Mhm.
whatever it is. And, all these things, all these
The
habits,
attachments. Mhm.
right? The attachments, learning, being able to break them and break free of them
Mhm.
and be functional, be productive,
Mhm.
you know, be, and for me, a lot of it was to be open to hear what it is, to see, to view it, to be the observer.
Mhm. Be the observer. Yeah.
So just being the observer in many places, I was, I, I had a beard, I had barefoot flip flops, whatever, you know, I was just blending in.
Yeah. When you're the observer, you're above the pendulum swing of cause and effect.
Right,
Just
exactly.
see it playing out, and it is what it is. You don't have judgment on either way.
Right,
But yeah, the attachments are huge. Yeah, I had that too. Unlock coffee. I used to drink coffee every day.
right. Me too.
You just
Right.
look, you look for these things that like, why do I do that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Why do I think I need that or whatever?
yeah,
It's a process.
yeah. Well, coffee has its, caffeine. As I heard Corinne yesterday, we got into a lot of things going on. She started getting a headache, and she calls it a migraine headache. She said, "I need caffeine. I need caffeine." So she got it from a soft drink, but you know, but a soft drink then is carbonated,
Hmm.
carb poison.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a loop. Yeah, keep you in that loop. Uh,
which poison is better for you. You know, the the view that water has poison in it, or the filter, which is poison, to
Uh-huh.
remove the poison.
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
Who would imagine the filter is made in China and loaded with chemicals? You
Yeah, right.
know? But what our brain think it's perfect. So
Right. Yeah. So anyway,
that's the beauty. We can just laugh about it. You know?
yeah,
That's the resolution. Is laughter.
yeah. But it is nice to interact with somebody who gets it
Yeah.
once in a while. So again, another thank you, Justin,
Thank you, brother.
for putting together a community forum that that is 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 a great um, thing to have once in a while, where you can laugh about it, and you can exchange a thought, or a communicate from the universe, you
Mm,
know, maybe. So
yeah.
again, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. It's been good.
So
Okay.
it'll be great to hear when you get off into Costa Rica, or wherever you're going, you know, and whatever you're doing there. It'd be great to hear again. You know, I know that things have changed around the world, and they are changing. You know, there's places I've been, like in Russia, you know, and various places, various countries, uh, where uh, back in the day, you know, was, I don't know, like cowboys and Indians kind of, in a way, but now looking at the streets, the paved streets, sidewalks, curbs,
Mm-hmm.
stoplights,
It's
you
like
know,
mind blowing.
it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
I even did
Just
that when I went back to Georgia, where I grew up. Like 20 years later, I was like, "What happened here? Like, this is not. I don't even. This is like
right.
this looks completely different." You know.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm here in Arizona on my desert property here, and just enjoying life,
Good for you.
watching watching the change. I uh, my house is situated. My front door is to the east, and my back door is to the west. And so I have these insulating blinds on my in huge windows.
Mm-hmm.
And so every morning I raise the blinds. At night we put them down, because it keeps the
Mm-hmm.
temperature a little bit more temperate inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
I raise the blinds, and and I think last month the sun coming up was actually around on the other. I have a garage that juts out from my house, so the
Mm-hmm.
sun was behind the garage,
Wow.
and now the sun is coming around. So I noticed, temperature wise, this morning it's 10 degrees warmer at this time in the morning than you
Wow.
know, a couple of days ago. So the
Wow.
sun is coming around more and more. You know, it's a
That's awesome.
it's a beautiful thing that's
Things are
happening.
changing. Yeah. Exactly.
Right, right. That too, and that too.
All
So
right. Well, have a great weekend, and
you too.
keep me posted if any new
I will.
revelations come. Next time
Right.
you ask your source self a question and you get a profound answer that you weren't prepared for, let me know.
I just did.
I know, I love
I wasn't
it.
prepared. I wasn't prepared for that answer. What are we gonna do?
Let me ask again 20 more times. I'm sure the answer is there somewhere.
You know, I used to be able to do this with the 20 questions with donuts.
Uh-huh.
You know, I know. You know, I would ask, is the donuts sitting in front of me in my best interest. No, I mean, well, they're here. Somebody's got to eat them. No, not you. No, 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 no. But I could convince my pendulum that I get and I say to people, I, when it just stands still, it's there is no yes or no answer to it.
Right.
But I would get a minimal yes, just slightly, and then I went for it.
Well, you have a good persistence. That's good.
But the steak, no way.
Wow.
It was adamant no, adamant.
Yeah.
Now, one or two things I didn't go into is there stuff in the meat that's bad for me? Is there, I didn't go into
Sure.
any of that. I'm still kind of
Still processing.
I'm still processing. I don't want to know what's bad in the meat. I just want the answer to be yes, it's good for me. Every time I asked prior to this, it was good for me.
Things are changing, my friend.
So it's changing, yes. Mm-hmm. So I just want to reinforce everything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
And that's okay, and it's going to be beautiful. Man.
Yes. And I heard overheard somebody say yesterday about parallel universes, and the next one we go, when this divides off and you're going to go to this one, that you'll be able to manifest everything. And that's true now.
Mm-hmm. It's true right now.
Getting where we are right now, that's true. That's all true. Mm-hmm. It's just cleaning up our acts so we can.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So we can step into that resonance. Yeah.
So
we've got a lot of leftovers.
It's having a focus and holding that focus as to what you want, Justin, what you want to see on your pathway.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'm taking compassionate action every day towards that. It's beautiful. I'm enjoying it.
Well, you'll see the path. You'll see things blooming on the way.
Mm-hmm. I expect it to.
Fabulous. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, brother.
So I'm gonna sign off. I got things to do.
Yeah. Got compassionate action to take. Yeah.
Compassionate action to take. Absolutely.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend.
All right. You
tell
too.
Corinne I said hello.
I will.
All right. Bye.
Bye, love.